All right, welcome back. And today I'm joined by Stuart. Most of you know him by Stu Dog. I'm Rocket Rod. And in this episode, we're giving away the Canopy. It's come time to give the old gold away. So we'll be giving her away. We're also going to be putting the new chassis strengthening plates on the back of the chassis. My beloved conies are going to come off so I can send them out, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this turbo problem and where all this oil's coming from. Not sure yet, but we'll get into that. But straight off the bat, I went up and I saw Stuart and I said, I want to sell the Canopy. I've got a new one coming. It's time to move it on. And I was asking him how much can I sell it for? And no, Stuart had a different idea.
No, we figured we'd give it away.
Give it away?
Hey, someone must want it. Make a good chook pen.
A good chook pen?
You can stick the kids in it when they're well, maybe not. Well, it's got air holes in the top of the tent, so you'll be right.
So the biggest thing is that all right, we want to give it away. How do we do that? How do we go about doing that? And we come up with a couple of different ideas. One, we want all the ideas you guys can come up with about what you would use the Canopy for. And it's a complete Canopy. It's fully functioning, yes. It's got a few bangs and bruises and dust. This thing's been around Australia 3 times. It also comes with a rooftop tent. I don't know where it is. It's around somewhere. We'll find it. It will come with the rooftop tent, all right? So 2 things. One, in the comments below, let us know what you would use this Canopy for. And we're not just talking about putting it on the back of the ute. You could use it as what? A chook shed? There's no foxes getting into this, girl.
Yeah, you could, I don't know, keep it in the backyard and put your wood in it.
You could. You could put it on a 6x4 trailer and make it as a bit of a tow away.
You can make a bar out of it.
A bar.
Barbecue.
Barbecue. A bed. Jeez, I don't know.
It's
talking
endless.
about you being, getting in the doghouse. You got somewhere to sleep.
If you're so well inclined, it could become your dungeon in the backyard somewhere.
Your own private man shed, albeit on the small side. So a bunch of ideas. We want to hear your ideas, so put them in the comments below. And just as much, if you know of someone that's deserving, someone that can use this Canopy, whether it be on the back of a ute. This is obviously set up for a 79 series, but I'm sure that this one the mounts can be moved and you can use it on pretty much any ute, all right? Anybody that's deserving, whether it's on the back of a ute or whether they have a use for it, and maybe on a trailer, maybe as a DIY camper that they're trying to put together. They want a great camper. We'll show you through it in a few minutes. I mean, it's complete. I've obviously taken the drawers out of it. It does come with the drop-down cupboards. They're fairly beaten up, so I wouldn't say she's going to need a little bit of love, but she's complete. She's all ready to go. The doors open, they lock, comes with the keys and everything.
Dustproof?
It is. It's proven itself to be dustproof. Right. It's worked really well.
So if your wife's been nagging you for a new wardrobe, this could solve all your problems.
Present her to this. See how she loves you then.
Well, somewhere to put her shoes even.
Well, how many boxes of shoes do you reckon you get in this? A lot.
Get a lot of shoes.
All right, enough of that. We'll get into the car and stay tuned. We'll let you know we find a big surprise in the exhaust system when we start to take it off. Until then, let's get started. All right, now, before Greg gets started with all the chassis strengthening plates, obviously we have to empty out an awful lot in this back section. I'll get Greg over in a minute and that we can discuss that. But I want to get these shockers sent out first. Obviously, we've got the first one off. There's only one left on. So before I put it up in the air, I might as well tackle this one and start getting this one out before we send it off. All right. Now before we take the bottom of this shock off, here's the previous one. Now, we obviously took this one off in a previous episode, and look at the damage. This is why I like the conies so much. They're very can-do. Now, Top Performance is actually our dealer here in Victoria, and they contacted me and they said, we reckon we can fix those. And they do. They actually test them all. They go back, they can refurbish. They're all fully adjustable, these big 90 mil bores. That's what I like about them. But if they can fix this and get these shockers back on this car, I'll be impressed. All First, we've just got to get the handbrake cable off, just so I can pull this off. And we'll go from there. I really should put my eyes on before I get started, hey? You get to my age, everything gets blurry. Couple out of this. See how bent this is? Just like the tops of the shockers are all mashed. This is all the rocks constantly bolting onto the bottom of this washer, so I can't undo that. Now this is a technical term. It's called a knockerometer. All right, it's a very delicate tool. You've got to be careful how you use it and be very subtle. All right, and take your time. Miss. Never hit too hard. All right. There we go. That's what a knockerometer for. I'm sure Craig, the cameraman, is going to speed up where I lack in speed, but here we go. Another vital tool. Let's give this a go. Look at that. It's out. Actually, the body of this one is actually pretty good. I have high hopes for this one. Jeez. I love these shocks, I really do. I much prefer oil over gas, but when you do so, you've got to have big bores, and that's why I like it. Especially, well, certainly needs some work, that one. All right, I'd like to introduce you to Greg. Greg's basically our chief in charge of anything engineering, welding, anything to do with that. I understand that you're fully certified, and you're a certified fabricator and welder.
Welder, among other things.
Now, I've known Greg for more decades than I would care to admit, and back in the day, Greg used to do all the chassis, a lot of the Thunderdome, NASCAR chassis, bits and pieces like that. So he's well and truly capable of what we need to do here.
V8 supercars.
V8 supercars, the whole lot. Now, today we're going to be adding some chassis plates on. There's a couple of different sizes here, and we would like to thank Ruben from DMW Industries in Toowoomba for these chassis plates. I have an omission to make. A lot of you have been asking questions, and I've been very vague about the chassis. Was she bent or wasn't she bent? Well, we know the canopy was bent because when we checked it, we lined it, had a slight little tweak in it, but nothing to stop it from using it again.
No.
But we've ordered a new canopy, she's coming, and to do that, we had to straighten the chassis. She was actually bent, not by a lot, it was about 8-10 mil, but 8-10 mil, still 8-10 mil. So she was sent out, they actually had a proper chassis jig. They don't actually take it apart, they just take the canopy off. They tweaked it, they bent her back. We want to make sure it doesn't bend back again, hence the strengthening plates, especially with what we do and how we do it. And I won't be doing this step, Greg will be doing this step, and to tell you the truth, I've got no idea how you're going to get these. What have you got to do to get these plates in?
Well, for starters, obviously we've got to get rid of a few things, get some things out of our way, obviously the fuel tanks.
So the whole tank's got to come out?
Oh yeah.
That means the mount?
The mount, the tank obviously, all these lines, your brake lines here, fuel lines, the wiring on the other side there. We've also actually have to cut a few brackets off, but I'll be marking those up to re-weld them back on once the plates are
re-welded back.
That's right, yeah.
So they actually go on, so where do they go? So this one goes on?
Okay, well, this one, give me an example. This one will go down on the inside there. Yeah. And she'll weld up around.
This tube.
Yep. So imagine it being on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
So the strengthening happening is from about here.
That's right, yeah.
But goes up underneath
the most vulnerable point of where it was bent was about here.
Right.
And then we've got this one that goes up on the outside. Yeah. Like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg knows all about this. He knows what he's got to do. He knows how to get it done. He's certified to do it. And obviously we're going to watch you do it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this next few minutes. We'll speed it up a little bit so you can actually get through and see what it looks like now, what it looks like right to the very end. So you can let me have a weld?
I don't think so.
Oh, cool. Bugger, okay.
On your way. Okay, as you can see, we've got it all prepped. What I've done is I've coated it with weld-through undercoat, which obviously protects the inside of the sandwich between the two plates. We've got all the wiring, brake lines and everything protected with a fire blanket. This is the outside plate here. I've got it marked out just to show you what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use the VSB 6 code of practice, which is for heavy vehicles. It's not fully necessary for this, but you know, this vehicle does go into harsh conditions, and a lot of people do use their vehicles hard. But then there's rod. So we'll get into it. Okay, I've got it clamped into position, as you can see. I'm just going to run a few tacks around, and then I'll get rid of the clamps, and I'll start the full welding. Okay, that's the first one done. I'll reposition the fire blanket so I can do the opposite side, and then I'll do the inside last. But as you can see, once it's all cleaned up, pretty happy with those welds there. They're good enough, burnt in nicely. Not bad for an old single phase welder. Rod's built many a roll cage for his old sprinters and that with this. So she's done all right. We'll get the rest done.
How'd you go, mate?
All good, mate. Just finish off cable tying all the lines back together. It's all
Looks
good.
really sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it you can't see, but I got Craig to do a little bit of filming while I was in the process of doing the plates and all the rest of it. You note how I've stitch welded there?
Actually, I was going to ask you what the gaps were in between the welds. And
Well,
you've got them on both sides, all the way around.
I've done that deliberately, simply to look. I'm not going to go into the maths of it, but one of the most common reasons why we do that is with especially with heavy vehicles. I've seen it before where they've been fully welded, and a weld might start to fail, right? Just due to torsional stress.
Yeah.
So if it starts to crack along the weld, obviously if it's fully welded, it's going to follow it all the way through.
Oh, so it gives it somewhere to stop.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And that's also got to do with the torsional.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
The long and short is that no matter what you do with the car, you're always going to be carrying a load. She's always going to twist and move. It always pays to listen to the engineers. An amazing job. Love these plates. And they're on both sides or sandwiched on. And
the inner ones are longer. The inner ones go right forward to past the spring hanger. Yeah.
He's a modest man. There was swearing involved, and I'm sure I saw a hammer fly somewhere. I'm not sure if he got it back, but he's done a brilliant job. Love his work. And now we're on to the next thing. All right, time to get it back up in the air again, eh? Yep. All right, let's get it up. That side. Here we go. All right, now my big concern with the turbo, obviously I'm just blowing tons of smoke. If I have it running for a while, it actually clears up. But sitting in the workshop, laying around, just short in and out trips, seems to be laying down a lot of oil in the exhaust. Now it's so bad, I've actually got a small crack up here in the exhaust, and there's oil actually physically dripping out of it. There's oil coming out of the band where the turbo and the exhaust meet everywhere. It's actually running down. It's actually running around here and it's dripping back. It's quite a big mess. Now, I don't know where the oil's coming from. I don't know whether I got oil running through the motor, whether I've got rings gone, whether I've got a catch can problem or something. But one thing I can do before we get started on this turbo, pulling it out, is that I can actually check to see how much oil's in the catch can first. Let's do that first. So we'll do that. We'll get over here. And I'm lucky with this catch can, which was actually installed to me by the lovely people over at Dynamotive across the road. They put this handy little pipe in. So you can actually knock the pipe down and it's got a little tap on it. So I'll grab the drain tray and we'll check what's in there. All right. Do this. Well, let's see what actually comes out of this. We'll see how much. And looking at that, you'd think that was quite alarming to come out. I actually drained this one when I was in the Northern Territory to actually check to see how much is coming out. Starting to slow down already. So I don't know, that'd be lucky if that was probably 150, 200 mil. So that's not a full catch can. So it's definitely, and it's actually driven all the way from the Kimberley, all the way down to Melbourne. It's, you know, been driving around a little bit here and a lot of stop starts without running that. Didn't even get the engine to warm up. So I don't think the problem's there. Yes, it's got oil in it, but deservedly so. And that's what the catch can's for. All right, we'll pop that away and let's start taking this turbo out, hey? I'm noticing, see that? Something's not right there. It's got oil all through the pipe. Oh God, look at it. Absolutely running down. This is all through. Oh man, look at it. My Lord, what is all that about? That exhaust system is absolutely full. Whoop. Oh God, now it's dribbling all over me. Look at that. Absolutely just pouring out. This pipe is absolutely chock-a-block. I better get a drain tray here before it gets all too excited. Cameraman Craig jumps in to save the day, thank you. You'll see Craig saving my ass on more than one occasion in this episode. All right, well that's a bit of a worry. That certainly explains the smoke. As soon as the exhaust heats up, all of this is just getting burnt all the way through. So, all right, that's the smoke. Where's the oil coming from that's filling that up? That's a big worry. All right, out with the turbo. Not sure if there's anything worse than diesel oil. Been working 20 minutes, got a broken nail. I've broken a nail, eh? No amount of life in this face is going to make it beautiful again, I tell you. These bands are a real bugger of a thing. Here we go. Big trick is feed it out. There's one beauty of this vehicle, and that is that she's pre-DPF, so makes the job a little bit easier. Let's have a look and see if much is going to come out or not. She might be all right there for a moment. Oh, it might be blowing clear at this end. Oh yeah, look at that, it's not too bad in there. So it's all down here. and it'll also be all through the rest of it, yeah. Well, it's one way to internally stop the rusting within your muffler. Fill it with oil. That's horrible. All right, I've gotten the exhaust system out, and I've grown pretty concerned. The amount of oil that's in this exhaust is absolutely insane. I didn't know I could fit the entire contents of the sump of the engine in the exhaust. I mean, look at it. There it is down there. It's got oil absolutely pouring out of both ends of these pipes. I've never seen anything like it. I'm a little bit concerned, so I think I might run across the road, grab Paul from over at Dynamotive, and get his opinion. This is starting to get a little bit over my head, so just let me run over there and grab Paul.
All right.
Sorry to drag you out of what you're doing.
No, not a problem. Always like coming outside. And I love the smell of transmission fluid. What can I say?
All right, now this is a little bit over my head. So I've invited Paul from Dynamotive, which is home of Unichip, and I'm lucky, they're right across the road. My big concern was the amount of oil in the exhaust. I mean, the exhaust has been sitting there, and it's absolutely dribbling out both ends. When I put my fingers up in, I don't know what you call that crazy little thing.
The wastegate?
Wastegate, that's it. I'm a transmission person. I'm not actually a...
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's no good.
An engine person.
Yeah.
And I was playing with it, and it turns and wobbles, and that's all I know. It turns.
Yeah, mate.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that you need a new turbocharger.
So you reckon it is the turbo?
100%.
I haven't ditched the engine or anything like that?
I doubt very much.
I was concerned that I might have done rings or something more.
Listen, okay, yeah, there's a chance that it could be, blow by or something like that. It does happen on VDJs.
That much blow by?
Yeah, that's the thing. Not that much though.
No.
So it's a high chance that it is going to be the turbocharger.
And it's just coming out of every little joint. I got to the point I was undoing, just cracking the bolt, and it was starting to dribble out of the joins and the exhaust system all the way from. I hate to think how much is in the resonator or muffler and that. So you're telling me I'm going to have to pull the turbo off? Yeah,
you pull the turbo off, you bring it across, we'll have a look at it, and we'll sort you out with a new turbocharger.
And how do I pull the turbo off?
We'll come across and we'll give you some pointers.
Give me some pointers?
Yeah, I'll give you some pointers. It's actually, on this kit in particular, it is actually really straightforward.
Well, I've already got the exhaust out, so that's got to be half of it.
Mate, you rebuild transmissions, pulling a turbo out is going to be a piece of piss for you.
Right.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
I'll get started.
Easy done.
Thanks for coming over. Whoa! Whoa! My Lord! Where did that come from?
Out of the pipe, mate.
So that's out of the intake?
Yep.
Wow, that's bad. I'm not so sure. Greg just pulled the intake pipe off, and there would have been 300-400 mil of oil in the intake, which has got me a bit concerned. Can the turbo leak both ways? Yes. I suppose it could. If it's sitting, it can do. And Man, look at this. I have never struck anything like this. Never in my life. I thought, this will be easy. Rocket can get this off.
Well, it's lubed.
Well, it's well lubed. The turbo was never going to run out of oil, that's for sure. All right. It's running down my arm. All right, we're going to have to stop and clean this up. It's getting too bad now. Yes! Finally, I say, as I still haven't got it out. Oh, look at that. The culprit. I got so hot. Thunderstorms going on outside. My glasses are bloody fogged up. I'm gone. GoPro wasn't even going to wait for me, but she's out. And we'll deal with this on the next episode before the thunderstorms hit. So don't forget, leave a comment. What would you use the Canopy for? Do you know of someone deserving, that you'd like to be able to give it to? And most importantly, like, subscribe, and get the bell on. And until next time, see you then. Look at it. Craig the cameraman's getting dirty hands. He's not used to this. He's an IT person. Speak to any IT person. No. Got to drag him down to the workshop, kicking and screaming all the way. We can do that,
No, I just need to sing one.
Craig the cameraman thinks we can't clap. I probably can't clap.
Come on, I've got to have some job.
How many times? You've got one job and you've taken it from us, hey?
I'm not fussed about the clap. It's never scared me in the past.
There you go. Leak as much as you like now. Bloody thing. You know when you get that urge to pick your nose, but you've got hands that look like this, and okay, we'll leave that for another episode.